so much. I love you so much. I love you so much. I love you so much.
Hello, all you positive heads out there. Thanks for tuning your beautiful brainwaves into another episode of the Positive Head Podcast, where we are firmly convinced that creating success and happiness is rooted in understanding the ultimate nature of reality and the fact that as human beings, we are all immensely powerful fractals of the one and only source consciousness, which creates and animates all things. Now, of course, understanding this powerful truth is one thing. Applying this incredibly empowering wisdom to everyday life? Well, that's another, which is exactly why we provide you with a fresh serving of soul food for thought 5 days a week to help constantly remind you of what matters most. You are it. And I'm your host, Brandon Beecham. I'm the reflection and extension of you who will be here each Wednesday interviewing a different consciousness changemaker. And on the other 4 weekdays, leading the way to ensure that your perspective is consistently expanded, your vibration is constantly elevated, and your heart is overflowing and full. Also, this episode of the Positive Head Podcast is being brought to you thanks to the support of Gaia. If you're not familiar, Gaia is the go-to source for streaming consciousness content online, and you can sign up for your first month for only 99 cents at gaia.com/positivehead. That's spelled GAIA.com/positivehead. Check it out. All right, all you positive heads, welcome to another episode. It is a terrific Tuesday here in the studio as I record, and I'm really excited because I'm not alone. You guys know I spend a lot of time talking into the microphone alone, and today I have a bunch of people with me. I have returning to the show for the first time in a while now, Colby Rebel. Hello, Colby. How are you?
Oh, hey, Brandon. I am wonderful. How are you?
I am so good, and I'm so excited to have you back. As soon as I got to see your face and just hear your voice, I'm like, how have we went months without having you on the show? And for those of you who are new listeners, or, you know, maybe just never heard in the past, Colby has been a reoccurring co-host and guest for quite some time. She is an incredibly gifted psychic, medium, intuitive. For a while we were doing, mini readings. Colby's been gracious enough to do quite a few mini readings for people on the show. And, I got to tell you, Colby, one of them that you did, I recall a while back, a year or so ago, my good friend Erica, who's also the booking manager for the show, you're like, you're going to meet your soulmate, you're going to have a baby. And she's a little bit older. She had just met the guy when you said that. Now she's due within the next couple weeks.
Oh my God, I have goosebumps.
Yeah. And it's just like, they're like two peas in a pod. They've actually co-hosted the show when I'm traveling before together. And it's just, it's incredible. So I've seen, having known you for a few years now, I've seen some pretty incredible magic pulled out of your hat and as far as predictions and insights go. And so, yeah, very excited to have you back.
Oh, thank you. And wow, what wonderful news about Erica. Oh, I love hearing stuff like that. That's so exciting.
I know you do. It's great to get confirmation, isn't it? When,
Yeah. And I always say Colby's a great name for a boy or a girl.
It really is, actually. It's a cool name. It's a very cool name. So what we're going to do, guys, I have a few people here. I have Christina, I have Tyler, I have Christopher, all who are going to be fortunate enough to receive mini readings from the wonderful Colby. And before we dive into that, Colby, I'd like to just chat with you and catch up for a few minutes. Here we are. It's actually, as we record, it's July 24th. It's my mom's birthday. It's a big week in my family, and my brother's was a few days ago. Me and my dad are on the 28th. There's this eclipse on the 27th that people are saying is like a huge deal. So I know I'm going from a personal 9-year numerologically to a 1, which is like completion to new beginnings. And so having you on, I'd love to just get your insight. What is going on with the eclipse? What are you picking up energetically?
Oh, boy, I'll tell you what, it is such a cleanse and a purge for most people because we're having a retrograde the day before. So we go into a retrograde the day before the eclipse. And then this solar eclipse is the longest one that we will have in the 21st century. So that in itself is pretty big. So a lot of people, a lot of the listeners and P-heads out there, you may be feeling like mixed emotions this last week or two, feeling like a level of anxiety that you're eager to kind of do something, but you're not quite sure what it is. Old feelings may be coming up to the surface about relationships or experiences. So this is a time where, deal with those feelings, deal with those emotions. Under that full moon, go ahead and write everything out. I believe if you write things out, write your feeling, write a letter to someone, get under that full moon, surrender it to the universe, and safely burn that paper, burn that letter. I will tell you, releasing it back to the universe and asking them to only work for your highest good will really, really help you kind of hit that reset button, especially if you don't have a birthday coming up like Brandon.
Well, I obsessively talk about my birthday too, Colby. I don't know if you've ever heard, but I have like all this wild synchronicity on it. So these guys are like, Brandon, shut up about your birthday already. But it's here and it's happening with this eclipse. And so I really feel like there's a major
shift.
Both
celebrating together too, Brandon.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Christopher's is the 30th. So it's like I tracked so many people in this week. It's insane the amount of people that around this, my whole family and my closest friends. And it's pretty interesting.
Well, I wrote a blog. There's a blog. I just posted it on my website about the lunar eclipse. And it's like basically 5 tips that people can use to help them kind of maneuver and get the most out of this lunar eclipse.
Oh, wow. Where do people find that?
It's right on the colbyrebel.com. And if they go to the blog page, they'll see it right at the top.
Beautiful. Yeah, I definitely am going to check that out. I love the idea of doing a little ritual on the 27th. That's one that I do anyway as my sort of go-to as I write things out and I burn them. And funny enough, the day I was looking for months, maybe a year ago, I was deciding this is a ritual I was just going to do, write things out and burn them. And I wanted a container and I was looking, I was like, okay, I'm intending to find a container today. And I went out and I found this total random, it was a silver head with the top of it was open. I'm like, there's my like positive head that I can burn all this stuff in. So it's pretty cool. So yeah, I'm gonna definitely be doing that and definitely checking out your blog to get some tips from you on how to approach it.
Oh yeah, it's going to be fun. This is a good time, everybody. I know it seems some people are perceiving it to be a little negative, but it really isn't. It's actually this huge, like, start over. Think of like when you have to hit that reset on the computer because the blue screen just came up and you're like, OMG, OMG. This is what's happening. But if you hit the reset, you get to start over.
You get a brand new MacBook Pro, guys. Latest and greatest.
Is it a full moon on the 27th?
Yeah, it's a solar eclipse, full moon, so it should look like that blood moon happening. We won't see it up here. We'd have to kind of be in Asia, but just
solar eclipse or lunar?
It's a lunar eclipse. Sorry, lunar, but it's a full lunar eclipse.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So
very
the
cool.
moon is crossing over the Earth.
Right.
Is that right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Ish.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, that is right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's, Colby, if you don't have anything else to add in regards to all the wild energy collectively, maybe we can get into some wild energy personally for the 3 souls that have lined up to throw themselves at the mercy of Colby to hear all the things.
Yeah, no, I'm ready. One thing I want to say, because, I follow the group a lot, and it's really, I got to say, just to see all those P-heads out there, just watching over the last year, 2 years, and you start to see names, and to see people getting their wings and to making their transformation and to finding who they are. And oh my gosh, I got to tell you, I love reading it. I love seeing it. I love seeing the growth and the community. So just want to applaud you on creating that.
Oh, yeah. Thank you so much. And it really is, I can't take a lot of credit. It's sort of creating a container that takes on a life of its own, right? And for those of you who aren't a part of the group, what Colby's referring to is Positive Heads with an S is a private Facebook group where you can we've made it private so you can get personal and open up about things you might not want, put out there to the rest of Facebook land. And it's almost 6,000 of us, I think, at this moment as of recording. And it's just an amazing group of souls. And so we'd love to see you in there connecting and sharing. And it is, Colby, for me, I mean, I log on and you see all these people are creating other podcasts and getting inspired to use their voice. And that's really what it's all about, is how do we empower others to find, their own gifts and their own voice, right?
Yeah, absolutely. To empower others.
Absolutely. Well, let's get empowering with some readings. And I think first up, we're going to have Christina, ladies first, is going to step forward. And Colby, let's see what you've got for Christina.
Yeah. Hi, Christina. How are you?
Hi, Colby. I'm doing really great.
Okay, good. Are you open to a little reading this morning, honey?
Absolutely. I'd love a reading. I've heard great things about your readings, and I feel like I'm going through a lot of transformation over this past year, particularly.
Yeah, let me talk. Let me do it. Let me tell you, and then you validate. How's that? Yeah, because I want to make sure we're hitting some things on the head, because I've got some things for you too. Okay.
Okay. Perfect.
And then just as we do it, you just give me strong yeses, strong no's. You can elaborate on something if you know that it's right. Feel free. Okay, honey.
Okay.
As you said, a lot of transformation, but I am hearing like, girl, you need to hold on, because it's changing so fast for you that even in another year, you're not even going to recognize 2 years ago. And there, to me, there's two main areas that this feels like it's changing. One is your career. So it feels like you took a sharp right, and it feels like you're kind of embracing almost a whole new path for yourself, or opening up to a whole new path. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Okay. And it makes me feel like you're, but I keep hearing it like bubbling up really, really quick, because I feel like maybe, I don't know if you were doing something a little more, well, I'm going to use the word boring. I don't know why, but there was something a little more traditional. And I keep feeling like you're moving into something that's very, very creative, but also with healing in it as well. So are you moving into a direction that you would consider creative, but also healing?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. There's also something working with energy. And also, do you work with crystals yet, Christina?
Yes.
Okay, good. Because I'm seeing crystals around you. Also, now it's also interesting. So I see a lot of energy work, energy healing. But it's also interesting. Have you decided to either make some jewelry or make little pieces for people to hold on to, like positive affirmation pieces? Have you started that part yet?
No.
Okay, because you understand the energy healing, right? Or the energy work.
Yes.
Okay, because I feel like with this energy work, you're going to also create these pieces where you put intentions in them and people can buy them. And it will help them move through something that's ailing them, okay? So There is that along with it. There's also this feeling where I feel like you're going to be doing this more full time. So are you working on moving into, I don't know, sometimes I come up with Reiki, but Reiki or healing, are you moving towards that in a full-time manner now?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Because it just really feels like that's truly your path. Now, the other thing too, Christina, is you're getting insights. You're getting flashes of, like, I feel like you're getting flashes. For me, it is perceived as photos. I don't know if you're actually literally seeing them, but I know you're getting flashes from the universe, giving you insights for the next step, like premonitions almost. And you're getting premonitions for other people. Do you realize that that's happening yet?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Because I feel like this is going to be another part that we're adding in. almost like, when you read cards for people. So I feel like you're going to add in a service of reading cards for people. Okay. And around this, I'm starting to see it really develop and grow. And I really feel like you're going to have this nice, solid reputation because you really are passionate about what you do, but you're also serious about it. You've got a little bit of this mathematical, logical mind around it, right? So I think that works really well because I feel like when you, that logical part is helping you put the numbers together. So like, I see you seeing numbers, connecting numbers to people. So some people see auras and I feel like you get numbers. Does that make sense for you? Do you understand that? Like you'll look at someone and you go, oh yeah, that's a 222 coming up for them. And you're going to, so like that really is, oh yeah, I know that there are angels around them and I know that they're listening and I know that their next step is this, this, and this. So I feel like there's a connection that way as well. So have you been seeing 222 or 1111 a lot?
I've been seeing 222 a lot. Yeah.
Okay, good. This is, again, just your spirit team trying to let you know that they're with you and that they're around you and to kind of listen to yourself. Again, this is one part where I got to tell you, I got chills because I know in this next year, oh, God, they're pushing you. And I know that feeling because I've been there. So I'm sending you lots of love and I'm like, oh, boy, she's in for it. But it's a really fun, positive thing. It just helps you push through your own fears, though. Like that little bit of insecurity that lingers in there, they're going to push that right through, okay?
Okay.
And then the other thing, too, is I want to go into relationship for you because I feel like this is another field that's going to be blossoming and transforming for you, okay? I get this feeling around relationship. I keep getting a sense of growing because they keep showing me a flower. So I understand that. Would you understand a relationship that's growing or evolving? Does that make sense yet?
Yes.
Okay. Now this relationship makes me feel like it doesn't feel like you've been together very long. Does that make sense? It's kind of newer. Is that right?
I'm not really.
Are you?
I'm not really seeing anybody in particular right now. So I don't have like an exact person that I'm thinking about right now.
Okay, let me just tell you what I definitely know that this person is stepping in like soon. Like I'm going to be surprised if it's not this year. I almost feel like they're already around you. So, look at who you're dating or who's been around you a lot because it feels like there's something there that's blossoming. And it feels like, because I just keep seeing a flower that's planted and I know it's really growing and it's going somewhere. And I feel like this is someone that you're going to have a lot of talks with, a lot of philosophy with this person, right? It's someone that you can really open up with. And it feels really good. It feels very exciting. Also, I want to just caution you, Missy, misguarded, is to really allow yourself to open up to this because I know you've got some hesitation on trusting. Does that make sense? Yes, it does. You don't even have to. I know. I hear your team going, tell her like it is. Yes. But I do. It's so true, right? Mm-hmm. But I know your person is trying to come in. So, and I gotta tell you, this is going to be really fun, and it feels like it's very like it's just someone you get to do things with, and really embark on this journey with them. And it feels like it gets very serious, very passionate, very loving. The person is very sensitive, tender. So I'm super excited for you with this.
Thank you.
Yes. Do you have any specific questions for me? Your finances are going to be okay. Are you worried about money at the moment?
Well, career and relationship are two of the areas that I'm very much focused on right now.
Yeah. Okay.
Career being the top and like finances because I have been just working super part-time and I'm really ramping up my healing and my creative
perfect
services. So that's really interesting. You picked up on that, and that was very confirming everything that you said, and also insightful. Like gave me some good insight.
Yeah, you're gonna be okay. The thing is I'm very excited. It is I like, the one thing that's really gonna help you that you're doing so well is you really do that logical side of you is actually gonna come in really, really helpful. Because I feel like you really are good at putting things in order. Like you don't feel very disorganized. You feel like you're more organized. You like things in a certain way. And I got to tell you, that is incredible for this type of business. People don't realize it. Sometimes people think they just fly by the seat of their pants. And then when it's not really building, they don't understand why. And I feel like you've got this and you're really building it and you're building it. You're very in tune with what you're supposed to be doing. And I feel like this is really helpful for you. I can't wait for you I'm so excited. Make sure you get my book too. It's How to Build Your Spiritual Business, because it's got a lot of tips in it for the business side.
Yeah, It's excellent.
Yeah, so I'm excited for you, Christina, and I can't wait for this guy to come in. Like, he's already near you. It's got to be someone you're already dating. Are you dating? Are there like 3 people you're dating? Oh my God! Don't let them listen to this, because they all think you're the only one, right?
I mean, there's like a few guys that I'm talking to, but it's nothing too consistent, really. Like just kind of like a couple of them are long distance, and it's. And so I just kind of putting my focus on myself, but yeah, it's interesting because I've heard from one of the things that I've heard from multiple psychics since I was like 19 is I'm going to meet like my soul contracts when I'm like this year and next year.
Yeah.
So, and I've heard that like since I was like 19 and then just again last year and then from you. And so I'm like, okay, I'm listening to that like trust because I do feel like I'm healing through some trust things. Yeah. So maybe like that's probably a question I have. Like, I feel like I still have like, there's moments where I feel super awakened and aware and perceptive and intuitive. And then there's moments where I kind of feel like old patterns come back.
Yes.
And then I kind of like it's like I still feel that awareness, but it's like patterns in like my habits and like with my thoughts around certain relationships. And I'm really working on releasing that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So is there anything that you can like feel into or any suggestions around that?
Yeah. So here's the thing, we all have this higher vibration and we tune in and we tap in. And when we're there, we're like, oh yes, it's wonderful. I totally understand why this happened and I'm okay with it. And we can let it go. Right. But then your little ego, your mind chatter gets in and you lament, you go back into the past. Right. And that's where the hurt and the pain starts bubbling back up. And you're like, wait a second, I thought I dealt with this. So when that happens, it's just what's happening at that same time is you're purging. Maybe you've got some of that soot left at the bottom of the tank. And so Spirit is bringing it up for you to purge that little bit so that your vibration can change and shift to the next level. When you're feeling those moments, and we all feel them, even I feel them, we all feel them, allow yourself to become in the present moment. What happens is when you're in that space, you're actually in the past, right? That's why you're feeling all of that. Get into the present moment. You can do that by wiggling your toes, doing something active, but get into the present moment and say, in this present moment, I'm not going to control the outcome. I am surrendering to source. I am surrendering and working for my highest good. And I trust that my team created the change for my highest good. And in that moment, you actually start to trust, wait a second. Yeah, this person was pulled out of my life, but it was really for my highest good. And I'm learning from that and I'm trusting that. And when you do that, when we realize that whatever pain we went through is one or twofold, to either help you help other people or to help you move through that vibration because it wasn't for your highest good. Okay? So... Or maybe you had to sit there and make up for something in a past life, but that's your fault. You shouldn't have done it in the past life.
What wonderful advice that was, Colby.
But it will help, Christina, and just keep knowing that what's happening is don't get stuck in the cycle. Allow yourself to become present. Allow yourself in that moment to kind of sit there and say a mantra to the universe, to your higher self, and that will help you shift through it.
Thanks. That feels really like good in my heart. Like my heart feels very like open from that. Thank you.
You are so welcome. You're welcome. All right, who's the next victim?
All right, let's move along. So you choose.
How about we do Tyler? Want to do Tyler?
All right.
You up for this, Tyler?
I'm ready. I'm beaming my being towards you right now.
Okay, awesome. Tyler, so I'm going to start with something. I got to tell you. So in this last year, you just helped me with this, okay? But I feel like you had to move through. I don't know if depression is too strong of a word, but I do feel like you had to move through some great sadness. And it feels like this was like about a year ago. But do you understand having to shift through some negativity, some sadness, and now moving towards holding it, that love space in your heart?
That's true. That's definitely there. Like I'm at this like crossroads of past work stuff where it just wasn't working. And then it's between like letting that go.
Don't give too much info, Tyler. Let her tell you.
Yeah.
But I just get this feeling where there was a lot of heaviness around it. Like I feel a lot of heaviness. I feel almost a sense of depression or disappointment. Like you have to, I guess the one thing I keep hearing is to stop beating yourself up over the past and really embrace the present and the future. Okay. Okay. Because it feels like, you're blaming yourself for decisions, but you weren't in a place yet to know what you wanted or in a place yet to make these positive decisions, positive heads, these positive decisions at the moment. And I feel like working through, again, the one thing about you is you tend to have some habits that I want you to start recognizing. They're self-limiting habits, I find. Maybe there's some insecurity where you get in your own way a little bit. You start to make progress, and then you will find a way to sabotage yourself. And it's like trying to tell you to stop doing that to you, okay? They keep saying, it's finding that love within yourself. So, Tyler, do you understand that feeling of, this ability to love everybody else, this ability to want to help everybody feel loved, but this struggle with self-love?
Yes.
Okay.
Definitely. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So what I want you to do is do some reading. Honestly, this is important. This is kind of some homework for you. Do some reading and exercises on self-love because you are a natural healer, but it's going to be from a love space, a heart space. And you are working, but your work will magnify tenfold the minute you truly accept who you are and love yourself just as much as you love everybody else. Like you see people and they've got what we would say, quote unquote, flaws. But you love them for everything, yet you will only point out your flaws. You won't love yourself for everything. So it's saying, listen, be all embracing, right? And there's also this sense where I feel like you're like a sponge at the moment. You're trying to learn everything, pick up everything, absorb. You understand that, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I feel like there's almost do I have it right? Osmosis, where you're almost picking it up kinetically, right? It's like it's almost like you're attracting it and it's inside. So there's a lot of that going on. There's also a lot of, they're telling me to tell you to maybe do a little more exercise. So maybe I'm not sure if you're not moving your body enough, but they're saying to do some more exercise.
That's true. I've actually like the last month I've been going to the gym and doing actually picking it up.
Okay.
So I haven't.
No, it was all the years before the last month that he was lazy.
Exactly. But stick with that, I suppose, or like
because I feel like you actually need to help move the energy through you. So it's important because otherwise the energy just bottles up inside of you. You have a hard time releasing the energy. So it's allowing that energy to flow. I see you holding circle. So here's what I see. And then as whatever it is, but I honestly, I see you kind of in some sort of robe thing, sitting in a circle, running a circle with people, but helping them in a kind of a meditative state, a chant state. So really helping them connect to their own source. So I feel like you're going to be working in groups of people as well, which have you started to do that yet?
I mean, how deep do you want to go into what's going on? So at Burning Man this year at our camp, I make magic wands and then give these magic wands out and do in a circle in our crystal grid and like take them out through a meditation and an activation. So
that's
perfect.
Yeah, that's the wizardry.
That is so funny. That is so perfect. But this is something where it won't be just a Burning Man experience. Oh my goodness. But you're going to write a book. Oh, have fun with that.
Oh, wow.
But there's going to be a book about this whatever's happening at Burning Man. The book is going to be about this experience.
Okay.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, continue that path. But remember, the only block, love, but, to recognize our blocks so that we can release them. And again, we just talked about that eclipse that's coming up. So this is a perfect time to work on this block. I want you to write a letter to yourself. Write a letter of what is wonderful about you and loving yourself, embracing yourself, and then doing that ritual we talked about. Okay.
I had already planned to go hike to Bristlecone and do such a thing.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. I love it. That's perfect. Really good. And I have to say too, I don't do angels. I'm not an angel reader. But I heard, I don't know, an Ariel. I think that's an archangel maybe or something. An Ariel. I would look into that because I feel like she's around you.
All right.
It's lioness of God. It means lioness.
What is that?
That means lioness of God.
Oh, wow.
Whoa.
So how very cool, right? So
yes.
Anyhow, Tyler, does that help you? So the thing is that what you're doing is on the right path. We just got to kind of maybe get you to get out of your way a little bit so the road opens up.
I told Brandon's son, the other day, I was like, well, I just need to get out of my own way. So.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Confirmation.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So perfect.
That was a lot of stuff that's been coming up in it. And before I left Brandon's the other night, it was like a lot of stuff about my sacral was coming up, and that's all that self-love and self.
A lot of synchronicity with that.
Yeah, perfect. Well, there you go. There's
there's more confirmation.
Yeah, it's what, but the one great thing is that you're gonna. I see your ability to absolutely work through this, so you're gonna be great.
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not like I see it stuck on you for the next 2 to 3 years. I actually feel like this is next on the homework list and you really get into it.
It really is.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Awesome.
That's a big theme.
Yay. All right. So we've got Christopher left, right?
Yes.
Last but not least, Christopher.
Hi, Christopher. How are you?
I am wonderful.
Awesome. Are you excited for a little reading?
I am.
Okay, awesome. The one thing, Christopher, the one thing that I get is that you're such a natural leader. So I really feel like there's a sense of being a natural teacher with you, a natural leader. So I feel like there's a calling, which I hear that you're being called. They said, stop shutting the door. So, so I feel like there's a calling and you're being called, but there's a sense where you're try to avoid it. Maybe you're not embracing the full. I think you know the magnitude of where you're supposed to go with this, but that makes you a little afraid. So I keep hearing that you're not fully embracing the magnitude of where you're supposed to be as a leader. But does that make sense to you?
Yeah, it does. It feels enormous or ginormous. Yeah.
It is. You're going to be one of those people where what's that called? Hang on one second. Well, I see a multitude of books with you. So like a series of books, but it's helping people connect to other realms or other things like that. So I feel like you're going to teach people in that way. But on a side note, do you do anything with computer programming or something with coding at all? I know that's so randomly odd, out of left field.
It's not out of left field. It's what I look at it as is that it's recoding all of the human computers with new empowering programming language that leads us into a new paradigm of wonderfulness. Yeah,
perfect. Because I see that the books are around this topic. And also I want to tell you to make them bite size, right? Like coding for love, coding for romance, coding for purpose. Like you can actually make them bite size. So it's a series of them. And there feels to be, just even with you, it's so funny because you're very in tune, and you're in tune really most of the time, because it's almost like you're living in a dual realm for yourself, you know? So I see that when you're going out, you're seeing almost I feel like you've got this ability to see a different realm, even though you're in this realm. Does that make sense? You understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, I feel almost like it's X-ray vision, like seeing through things.
Yes, exactly like that. And that's part of your gifts, actually. So it's part of how Spirit is using you to maneuver and help other people on your journey. You have, you got a lot of pressure on you. But it's really good. You've got it. You're chosen because you can handle it. And so that I want you to remember. And one other thing is, I know you're a perfectionist. You're trying to make things perfect. But they keep telling you to let go of the perfection because, they want you to start getting it done and knowing that where it is exactly where they want it to be. There's like this fine layer with it. So they're saying it's really good. But I feel like this is going to be in a way of books, classes, like online material that people can access. There's going to be meditations. I feel like you're going to be recording meditations for people to follow and unlock and take some on these journeys to help them with the coding and the reprogramming as well.
Awesome.
So, yeah. And it's I just saw XYZ, which is odd. I don't know if that's the name of something you're going to be doing, but XYZ is so so hold on to XYZ. There's also a sense too of, I believe that you're going to see a lot of you're seeing a lot of numbers. There's a lot of numbers. They all just rambled up. 3, 7, 9, and 11.
His two favorites.
37 is definitely my number, and so is 11. Yeah.
Oh, that's so funny.
It's hilarious.
Yeah, that is so funny. So
Brandon and my number, actually Brandon's number is too 37.
Yeah.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, that's been my favorite number since I was a kid, and then when we met, that he has all the stuff around 37, and
wow,
we're very close friends. So.
Okay, that's really fun. So the only other thing, Christopher, that I would say is, it is, I feel like there's a lot of ambition, like a lot of ideas that you've got, and they feel really, really good, but maybe try less. You're spending too much time trying to perfect it rather than just getting it out there. And I feel like you got to start getting things out there more, and allow the perfection to be as the universe wants it to be.
Yeah, I think that's validation for messages that I've been getting as well. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Are you do you know that you're doing guided meditation? Do you know that yet? Recording guided meditations?
Yeah, I've done one already, actually.
Okay.
I'll send to you.
Oh, yes, I want it. Yes, please. But it's I want you to embrace your path. You've got a little pain around your path, and I want you to embrace it. There's a feeling of a little bit of pain you carry, definitely for some past life stuff. So maybe find a friend who does a little more past life regression to help kind of unclog some of that for you, because it feels like there's so much joy to be had with it in this lifetime.
Yeah, thank you. Oh, I mean, I think the pain for me it's like world pain. Like what I'm really sensitive to is all of like the pain of humanity. Yeah. But it's so just even in like readings, right? So I may feel when someone loses a child or a significant other or what have you, I can absolutely feel that pain, right? And I can allow myself to get lost in the emotions during a reading. But if I do that, then I'm actually not holding the space for the client. I'm not able to provide the client healing. So just find a way to understand all that pain, but hold the space so that you can actually create the healing for them. Mm-hmm. Okay? Because you're strong enough to do that. Yeah, I feel that. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Yeah.
Wonderful.
All right. Brandon, how about a little something for you?
Oh, my goodness. Twist my arm.
All right. So when I tune into you, Brandon, I'll tell you what, there's been a whole release, like maybe over the last, I don't know if it's 6 months, definitely 3 months, where there's two things. Permission to have more fun, permission to say, you know what, I got to enjoy this life. Like I'm either working too much and I'm not enjoying it, but I got to give myself some time to have fun. You understand that? But through that as well, I see the business side really ramping up because you've actually been giving yourself some self-care. And I just see a contract being signed. So literally like either just now, like literally it's within either last week, this week, next week, there's a contract that's being, and this is has great financial gain to this contract. It feels like there's even something around royalties with this contract, right? Is that right? Because I feel like there's a commission or a portion.
Well, there's like 2 or 3 contracts that are all happening. One signed last Friday, a few days ago, 3 days ago. One signing today, one signing today, and then a huge one that I expect later in the week that I've been working on for a year and a half.
Oh, that is so funny. Oh, my God. That is so funny, right? But there's also this feeling where as you start to do this, it's almost like you're going to build and explode so quickly. But it's interesting. You always stay grounded. I don't see you getting in your own way. I don't see you creating toxic behavior. It feels like you're very grounded about this experience, but it feels really, really good. I will say I wouldn't be surprised if this Positive Heads or a show like this, you end up taking it more to a television because
that's a plan.
Yay.
Because it feels like it becomes more of like a TV talk show or there's something around that. So does that make sense? Is that something you've been looking at yet?
Yeah, I actually shot a trailer, and this is something separate and a part of the contracts we just talked about, but I actually created a trailer about 4 months ago for a docuseries that I'm going to call Optimistic, spelled MYSTIC. And where I go and I go around the world and highlight people doing magical things and document the synchronicity that unfolds and how I interact with whoever I bump up against while highlighting someone who's doing magical, cool things to elevate consciousness. So
wonderful. That's so exciting.
But Colby, one of the things that you just brought up, I've kind of went back and forth between that approach and doing a late night style show where it's like people are coming on set and there's some comedic element and there's live music, at the end, but all conscious related. So those two are like, I've kind of juggled and I've thought, well, maybe I'll do both ultimately, but so I don't know if you have any clarity into that.
That late night feels really good. The idea, either way, the idea of it being entertaining is really good, but the late night feels really good around it as well. Yeah. Because again, a lot of the light workers, they sure are stay up pretty late, right? Because they have trouble sleeping.
Right. True. That's for
Brandon,
too many entities messing with you.
That thing we just did with Daniel Raphael, where we were talking about it, like that felt so clear to me. Yeah,
absolutely.
Hey,
you were about to say something?
Yeah, real quick. I just have such a male presence here, spirit. He feels like a father figure. Can I ask if someone's got a man in spirit that's either a father or definitely would have been like a father to them?
I mean,
maybe
I have a grandfather, two grandfathers, but we weren't particularly close.
My grandmother just passed away.
Oh,
okay. I feel because I want to just say real quick.
Tyler has one though, don't you, Tyler?
Okay.
That was like a father figure.
Yeah, his hat's sitting in the corner right there. His little fishing fedora. So.
Real quick, because this man makes me feel like he's very fatherly. That's the feeling I get. He's a bit strong, like he definitely would have been a bit more on the traditional side of things. I don't know if conservative is the right word, but maybe a little bit conservative. But he's super like fun. Like he gives me this idea of being a funny, real witty, sharp person. And it gives me the feeling of being pretty nice, like trousers and shoes. Like he's always real cleanly dressed and cleanly cut. He's, like I said, it gives me that feeling of being a little more conservative. I'm not necessarily sure if that's the case. That's just the impression I'm getting. Does that make sense for either of your granddads?
It could be mine. For sure.
I really feel like Christopher. Does that make sense, Tyler?
That sounds like my other grandpa, the engineer grandpa. But sounds like Chris.
Yeah, Chris. You know what? When I ask him, he says he's for you. Do you mind if I give you a quick message from him?
I don't mind at all, no.
Okay, he makes me feel like he's helping you now on this path, and he makes me feel like this is, like in the living, I'm not sure, honey, if this is, you would have even had a conversation about this, but he gives me the feeling from spirit, this man is like going to help you. He's really good. He's got like a very good engineering kind of mind, and I feel like he's going to really help you sort things out, figure things out, move you along. And he gives me a lot of feeling of love around you. I don't think you got to talk to him a whole lot, but he lets you know how much he is around you. And he wants to let you know that he's okay. And also he says, I feel like you feel him, or you may start to feel him. He says, don't be concerned. I'm just here to help you.
Awesome.
Okay.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Does he have anything else to say, or?
No, I mean, that was just about it. There's just about, he kind of gives me a watch. So I don't know if you either have his watch or it gives me a sense of talking about your time. There's something about the timing. So does somebody get his watch? You know?
I don't know. I can ask. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, time has definitely been a challenge for me for a long time, but I feel like it's all coming into alignment now and getting more physically centered.
Yeah, perfect. I just want to let you know that he's around. I don't know if he could be a little grumpy, but he just gives me this feeling of like he's not like mushy. I don't get the feeling that he's a real mushy guy. Does that make sense? Like I feel like we're very down the business.
Yeah, he was not. He was definitely not mushy. No.
No. Was he an engineer or a repairman or something? He makes me feel like he fixes things or problem solves.
He was a larger than life persona who, was organized or engineered like an amazing space. And it was actually in Palm Springs, a place called La Mancha. And it was like tons of celebrities would come there. And it was like a huge, amazing resort out there.
Yeah, I just feel so strongly that, as I was finishing up with Brandon, he just wanted to pop in and let you know that he wants to let you know he's around you and he's going to help you construct this path and purpose for yourself.
Awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Wow. That was epic, Colby. I've missed you so much. Can we do this more often again? Because this is so fun.
We have to not be so busy, huh?
I know, exactly. It's been quite a joy. And I know you've got to jump and coming up on Coffee with Colby, which is, tell us real quick about it so people can find it who want to tune in more to you regularly.
Yeah, so I have a Facebook page, a professional Facebook page, Colby Rebel. It's a black leather jacket. And 10 a.m. Pacific time, Monday through Friday, I do a quick 10 minutes inspirational talk. Just talk about things that we're all going through. I've got like 340 some episodes loaded up on YouTube.
Wow.
So it's a lot of fun. And then every Thursday night, I have a talk show called Live with Colby Rebel. It's at 5 p.m. So you can see that on my Facebook page. And then also, Brandon, let's let the listeners know about the little discount we're going to give them.
Yes. Colby has always been gracious enough for any of you heads out there who have really enjoyed hearing these readings and would like to get one of your own. I definitely recommend it. I've seen, Colby, now that we've been friends for years, I've seen some pretty cool stuff and predictions that unfolded over time. And so, Colby, you're going to give them a discount if they contact you, and it is PHEAD10. Is that correct?
Yes. Yeah. So if they go on my website and book a session, you'll see a box that says discount code PHEAD, all capital 10, PHEAD10. And that's going to give them 10% off of any reading they book.
Beautiful. And that's colbyrebel.com, right?
Yes. And that is a discount exclusive to the Positive Heads.
Thank you so much for that. I know quite a few people in the past have taken advantage of it. And I'm sure there will be some now moving forward. And Colby, please, let's do this again soon. Maybe in the coming, maybe a month or so, we can reconvene. I know I'll probably hear from 30 people. Oh, please, if she comes back on, let me get a mini reading. So today I had friends that I had queued up for months ago. Okay, next time you can jump on. So it's I want to get it to some other P-heads as well.
Well, thank you guys. And Tyler and Christopher and Christina, thank you guys so much for being so open and loving and receptive. It's beautiful to meet you guys. And I'm very, very excited for you.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Yes. All right, Brandon, will you have a great day, okay?
I will. Thank you so much for the confirmation on all the things going on in my life as well. And sending much love to you and talk to you very soon.
Okay. All right. Bye.
Ciao.
Bye, everyone. See you next time. Love you all. Also, if you're craving more consciousness elevating content, be sure to check out Gaia, which is my personal go-to source for streaming consciousness content on the web, where you can stream an incredible 7,000 plus exclusive videos covering 5,000 years of wisdom. As you all hear me constantly say, it's a daily conscious effort to maintain an elevated vibration. And if you're looking to journey deep down the rabbit hole to do so, then Gaia is the best place I know of to do it, period. And you can sign up for your first month for only 99 cents at gaia.com/positivehead. That's spelled GAIA.com/positivehead. Check it out.